Okay, today we are joined with my friend Sadie that I met at the gym.
Hi, everyone.
Sadie, tell us a little about yourself. First, let's start with your last job.
Austin.
Austin. Oh,
Yes.
that's a pretty cool
Sadie
name.
Austin, yes. I moved here about 2.5 months ago, almost 3 months. I lived in Utah like my whole life.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
And when were you born? These
I
people
was-
actually care about like science.
Okay, I'm Libra.
You're a Libra?
Yes.
When's your birthday?
October 5th.
7th.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. I'm a Libra too.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
Libras. I was born in Idaho, but I don't really remember much of it because I moved like shortly after when I was like 2 or 3. And yeah, I've lived in Utah my whole life. And then I'm mainly here because my sister lives here. She's in the Navy.
Right.
So
you
I
live
moved
alone with her? Or she lives with
No,
a
I
husband?
live with my mom and my other sister. So the one that dropped me off, I live with her and I live with my mom.
And who was that who dropped you off?
My sister. She's usually at the gym with me.
Really?
You-
I never seen anybody.
I think actually,
Oh, is she a taller version of you?
yeah, we like look
That's
identical.
so funny.
Do we look alike?
Yes.
Okay, because
Because I swear that I remember one time I saw you and there was a girl who was working right next to me. I was like, bro, I think I'm tripping, but this girl looks just like Sadie. I'm like,
that's so weird because like, well, we usually get that like all the time, and like in Utah, we'd always get mixed up. But like people here, I feel like have said that we don't look alike.
She's older.
Yeah, people say it's the hair.
Yeah, but you could tell like it's a possibility that you aren't related.
Really?
Yeah, there's a possibility. I thought maybe because like this center looks the same, but at the same time, I'm like, I could just be tripping.
Right. Well, I think our facial features are like kind of what tells you.
They're similar.
Yeah, if you're like up close to us. But yeah, so I moved with my sister and my mom, and my other sister, she's in the Navy and she lives here. So that was kind of like our inspiration to
Oh, right.
move here because
Did you come before to visit first?
yeah.
Oh, you loved it?
Yeah, so I've been like now that I live here, it's maybe been like 4 times that
Right,
I've been here.
right.
So yeah, I kind of knew the area a little bit, and it wasn't like brand new, but
What's the weather in Utah?
all 4 seasons.
Yuck.
So right now it's probably snowing and there's probably
Really?
lots of inches of snow, and yeah, but fall there is beautiful. Like the mountains, like the colors, it's so
You
beautiful.
got the leaves falling and all that?
Yeah, that's like the one thing that I miss is the seasons. Like not so much winter, like I can do without that, but like
Yeah.
fall is like so amazing. And also with all of like the layering you can do with your outfits and
Oh, you
just
like
like
that?
yeah, because
Wow.
it's so much more like boring just wearing like, summer clothes
So
all the
this must be
time.
really nice for you. The only thing
Yeah.
I miss. Oh, there is a fireplace.
It's taking me back for
Yeah,
real.
girls love this. So, okay, so far, what do you like about Hawaii and what do you not like about Hawaii? Minus the season changes.
What I like is honestly just like the environment, how beautiful, how green it is, like, and all the
Gorgeous.
people here are really nice too.
Yeah, they're pretty chill.
I don't know. I like the mountains here because it's like different type of mountains, but I like love mountains. So I love how green they are, and the beach, of course, can never go wrong with
What's your
that.
favorite beach so far?
I have a few. I like Lanakai
Gorgeous.
and Kalama. Been to
I
that
haven't been
one?
there.
I like that one a lot too.
Is it far from here?
No,
Close?
yeah,
There's so
it's
many,
maybe
yeah.
like 30 minutes.
Oh, that's
25.
far in Hawaii.
Well, yeah, I guess that's really for me. It's like not. I'm just used to long
I said
drives,
the same thing. I did the same thing.
but I guess that yeah, it's pretty far. But yeah, I feel like those two I like a lot. Waimanelo's pretty too.
Yeah, I've been there too.
So I would say those are like my top right now.
Okay. And are you single?
Yes,
Okay. And how long have you been single?
almost 3 months. Kind of recent. Yeah.
Oh, wait. So you broke up and then moved here?
Sort of. So we
Oh,
were
interesting.
together for 1.5 years about, and it was like we kind of were doing long distance for like a little bit. He moved away to college,
Where to?
SUU, so
But-
still in Utah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah. And so it was kind of far, obviously, for me to like move all the way out here. But he moved in like the beginning of August, and for about 2 months we were doing long distance, but also kind of like on a break. It was kind of confusing and complicated.
Right.
And then yeah,
Who
we-
initiated the long distance?
he did.
And you said okay.
Yeah,
But you didn't want to.
I was okay with it. Obviously would have been fine with not,
Right.
because I was like ready for anything.
Right.
But
Yeah, you're still young, so.
yeah, it was definitely more on his side. But I think when we left, it was like mutual and it was fine. And then it just kind of got complicated from there, as you probably could assume, because long distance was never easy. But
So are you ever supportive of long distance? I personally am not, but I want to hear your opinion. What do you think of long distance relationships?
I think it depends on the person. I feel like
Hmm.
if you two are both like willing to do it
Mhm.
and you have that mindset that it's going to work and you know, we're gonna see each other again. We'll make the time, we make the effort. I feel like it can work, and I have seen it work with people. So I feel like it honestly depends on like your mindset and whether you're at a spot in your life that you feel like you can do that.
What's your love language?
I feel like it switches because now that I'm like out of the relationship, I feel like it's different.
Uh-huh.
I feel like in the relationship, it was like more physical touch and like words of affirmation.
That's what I thought you would say because you don't do long distance.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be that reason.
Yeah. But I mean, after everything went down, I feel like maybe more so acts of service,
Why
which
is
is like
that?
such a switch. But I feel like I'd
Interesting.
rather be shown that they like care and love
Right,
me than
right.
just it being words.
Okay, explain that to me. Like, what kind of stuff? Buy you dinner? Get you food?
Well, not necessarily that. It doesn't even have to be like money type of things.
Mhm.
Just like little things. Maybe doing my laundry for me if I'm not home and I can't, or writing me little notes in the morning,
That's cute.
or texting me, make sure I got home, like things like that. I just feel like that shows that that person cares more than just like, hey, I care about you. Hey, I
Okay.
love you, you
Okay.
know? So I don't know.
Where did the switch come from? Because I feel like maybe it was lacking in the previous relationship.
Yes, I feel like it's hard because it's still fresh. So I don't know like how deep I want to go, but
No, that's fine. Whatever you want. Are you hurt over the breakup?
yeah, he was
Oh.
my first love.
Oh.
So
Didn't see that coming.
my
Okay.
first serious relationship. Before him, I was never really like into any of that. So
Right.
definitely was hard, and
Uh-huh.
I'm still dealing, but it definitely
Mm.
helps that I'm like in Hawaii and with my family. But
Right.
I feel like the switch was just that I felt led on and just kind of like got this sense of false hope that we would work, and then based on like the things that he would tell me, I
Like
guess. Well, right before we left,
Uh-huh.
like he would tell me like, I still believe that you're like the right one for me, and like I still want to be with you, and I still want to talk to you every day. Like that's my main goal. Like he said all
Mhm.
those things, and then he barely talked to me. Like I felt like I was the only one putting in the effort, and I had tried to like
Oh.
talk to him multiple times. Like, hey, like if this is gonna work, like it has to be both ways. It has to be both sides. And even when we called, it didn't even seem like he cared that much. Like he was apologizing, but he was just like, I'll try. Like I'll try to do better. Not like I will. Like because I care about you and I love you. It's
Right,
just
right,
like
right.
I'll try.
Right.
And like I get that you can be busy in college and like you're doing a lot of things, but at the same time, I hate that excuse. I hate it because it's like it takes 2 seconds to respond to
Mhm.
someone, it takes 2 seconds to text someone. If that's already hard for you, then you're already not really thinking about me as is.
Yeah, so that bothers you.
Yeah. So I just felt like everything that he was telling me was not matching up to like his actions and like what he was doing.
So let's tread back. What made you choose him versus anyone else? Because you said he was your first love. How did he get you? Because I'm sure other guys tried to, but he was successful. So what happened?
I don't know. So
was different about
it actually wasn't like I was just kind of thrown into this basically. Like it wasn't someone I really chose. So my best friend, she lives in Utah.
Right.
She liked someone
Mhm.
and ended up being one of his close friends.
Mhm.
She kind of like it's like this long thing. I just think about like how if we would have never done any of this,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
nothing would have happened.
Right.
But we were like in high school, little girls, we were walking in the halls, and like it was like a group of his friends of like the guy that she liked. A group of his friends were in the hall, and like we were walking by, and she was like, "Oh, he's so hot," like making sure they would hear and stuff.
Oh, it's like that.
And then like some of the friends came up to Claire later, that's her name, Claire, and
Shout
like
out to
kind of
Claire.
talking about like setting up a date and stuff and doing like a group date. And so I guess I just kind of got thrown into it like by him wanting to take me out on the date or whatever.
So
like,
it was a group event that you guys went out first?
yeah.
And then, okay, so you went on a date and then what? You knew you liked him right away?
Yeah, honestly, like the connection and everything was there from the beginning. I feel like, especially girls, I feel like they know like right away.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like, and I don't think I'm alone on that because like everyone I've talked to is like, you know, like it's just like your intuition.
Right.
You know from the beginning if this person is going to be someone that you will have an interest in or even just like can connect with as like a friend. And just like right off the bat, I was like so comfortable and he's making me laugh and everything.
Right.
And like before this, I was so scared. Like my mom can contest to this. Like I was in the house like pacing back and forth because I had never really done anything like this before.
Like that kind of date.
Yeah. And so I was so scared. And like I had also, he was picking me up. We were all like driving separate and stuff. I had never driven like alone with a guy before, so I was like so scared.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to do this. Like, I'm going to back out. Like, I don't want to do it. And then honestly, like 5 minutes in, I was fine. Like, and that already told me, I was like, okay, like, I'm not even awkward. I'm not scared anymore.
Right.
Like, it was just like right off the bat, I kind of knew.
Yeah, you don't give me awkward vibes at all.
Yeah.
So you're doing fine right now.
That's good. Because I was definitely nervous doing this.
Yeah, no, I give you props at your age. Yeah, that's for sure.
But
doing great.
I know, I feel like it fits my personality. I can like talk for hours. So I was like,
so did he set the stage for your taste? Because you know how they say you were your first love, all of a sudden then you look for him in every guy? Or no?
I would say yes and no. Because I feel like I have had interest in guys that like aren't like anything like him physically or anything. But then again, it's like I also don't really have a lot to compare to. So if I go like on a date with a guy, I'll like look for like that feeling, I guess, like how I felt with him more so than like his looks or like what he's like, you know?
Yeah.
I just look for more of just the feeling I get, kind of comparing it to that first date that I went on with him. And
okay, yeah. I want to jump back into this because I have an argument with women about this. They say that a woman could tell right away because you mentioned this.
Yeah.
If they're interested or whatever, they're going to sleep with you right away, right?
Right.
So some girl said it takes like 2 weeks. And I'm like, I thought it was like 30 seconds for girls. They could tell you right away. So what is it? Like when they're like, okay, I'm 100% interested, you know? Because you said it was pretty fast.
I think it depends on the girl, I guess. But I do feel like maybe you don't know right away if you would be interested in them romantically. Mm-hmm. But I think the connection and you guys getting along is instant. If you guys just don't mesh and you guys aren't like, you don't feel anything towards this person and it's just kind of like, I just kind of want to get this over with. I feel like that's what you know. Maybe not necessarily like, oh my gosh, I can date this person, like whatever, but maybe more so just the initial connection, I feel like is right away.
How much do looks pay into the relationship beginning?
In the beginning, I feel like it's more so a thing, but if you start to like the person, then that starts to go away and you find them attractive anyways. But I think like in the beginning, I feel like being initially like physically attracted to them is important.
Out of 10, initial attraction. Because you know how girls always play that game like, no, it's about personality. I'm like, nobody comes up to me and be like, I have an immersive personality. How are you?
Right.
So out of 10, you would say it's pretty high up there.
Yeah, I don't like, and it's not in like a rude type of way, but it's just like everyone has their preferences. Everyone like is interested and is looking for certain things. Right. And honestly, like I think it depends too. Like if you already knew the person and you're friends with them and like you guys already connect and you're really good friends and then it turns into something romantic, maybe that doesn't matter as much. But if you're like meeting someone right off the bat or you're kind of like having interest in someone, it's kind of right. It looks in the beginning. Yeah. I out of 10, I'd say maybe like a 7.
Oh, that's not too bad.
7 or 8 in between there.
I thought you'd go way higher than that, but okay.
Well, I feel like that's still pretty high.
That's generous though. That's humble answer, I think.
Because I think I it's up there, but also you want to like give it a chance too.
Yeah, but have you ever gone out with someone that was really hot or attractive, and then you're like the personality was just like no, or you know what I mean? Like it wasn't syncing. It's like bad personality but good looks.
I mean, I haven't went on too many dates, so I don't really have like a lot to compare it to. I feel like the people I have gone out with, like the personality matches.
You are so lucky. That is so not.
But it doesn't mean that it's like a good like because I've went out with people that I haven't really like. They're not like oh my gosh so hot, but you know
quality. Yeah,
I like them. They're cute, but like so and their personality just kind of like okay yeah like mid.
Okay.
So it just kind of like matches like at least for me what I already initially thought of like their looks. Right. That makes sense.
Okay. And have you gone out with anyone in Hawaii? Like have you gotten to know any personalities here?
Yes, but I've only went with my sister. We've done a few double dates. So I haven't done anything like on my own.
And were they like Hawaiian born people?
Yes and no. The first ones were. Okay. And then I went on a recent one and no.
Okay, let's talk about the recent one. What kind of pointers would you like to give him if he did mess up or not mess up?
I didn't really. So this one I was also kind of thrown into. My sister had been talking to this one guy on Hinge, and then she kind of like turned him down the first time, and then she was like, "We can go like on a double date with my sister," blah blah blah. So she kind of set that up, and then like he brought a friend, so I didn't really know. I hadn't talked to him prior, so I was just kind of like, again, like thrown into it a little bit. And like from his picture, like I was kind of like, I don't know about this, but I mean, it's fine. I'll be with my sister, like whatever. It's just it's just fun. And then I feel like he definitely looked better than his picture, I will say.
Yeah,
so
man, just don't take good pictures.
yeah, I feel like his picture was not doing him justice
White
at all.
or Asian?
White. But I think he has other, I don't really know what else he has, but I don't think he's just white.
Okay.
But anyways, so yeah, I mean, he definitely looked better than his picture, so that gives him points. And I feel like he was very like curious to know more about me and like wanted to like get to know me, and I felt like it was genuine. As far as like my sister's date, he just like was kind of just like there, and he was just kind of asking like the most surface level things ever, just like, why are you here, what do you know, just like the boring like things. But I feel like my day was genuinely like curious. I didn't really feel like anything like crazy. I was just like, oh, this is fun, it's fine, like whatever. But it wasn't anything like.
And did he follow up with you after?
He actually just texted me. So we went on this date on Friday, so almost a week ago, and he just texted me. So we kind of waited a while, and he was just like, I had fun getting to know you. I'd like to go out again, or we should do it sometime soon, or something like that. Like the basic, like what they usually say. And I was like, yeah, I had fun too. It sounds good, or whatever. So I would go out with him again, but to me, it's nothing serious.
No, that's fine. So at your age, let's talk about red flags. So what do you consider a red flag at your age?
I feel like how they treat their family, like their mom and other people. Like, you know, if it's like a waiter at a restaurant or something like that, I feel like that initial, like if they're kind of like rude or just not.
Does that really happen to women that often? I feel like it's so rare to see somebody like yell at a waiter nowadays.
Well, not necessarily yell. Like obviously that's like 100% no, but just like how they like talk, I guess, to people, I feel like makes a difference. Like if they're just kind of like, I don't know how to describe it.
No, I get it. Well-mannered.
Yes. I feel like that's right off the bat a red flag.
Well-mannered, okay. Next.
I'm trying to think of like not ones that people say all the time.
You could say it both, honestly, because your elaboration will be like, you know, interesting.
It's hard because this could be controversial, and it's not like.
That's what I want.
It's not like a jealousy thing, but if they have like multiple girls like on
Friends?
their Snapchat or
girlfriends,
or like not necessarily.
That's a super red flag. What do you mean?
Yeah, it is. And like, or if they're still talking to a lot of girls on Snapchat, following a lot of girls, like liking their pictures, it's like, I mean, it's a little sus if you ask me. Really, and I feel like it's different if like. Because I have seen, like, relationships be really successful while they have, like, friends that are girls.
Okay.
I think it's just depends on, are they spending more time with them than you?
Yeah, 100%.
Are they, like, how do they act when they're around with you there? Or, like, things like that. I don't know. I just feel like how they, like, go about it makes a difference. But I definitely think most of the time it's a red flag. Yeah. Especially if they have a best friend that's a girl. That's
super weird. So your preference is a guy with no girlfriends while dating you, correct? Just be honest. That's all we want. Just be honest.
Well, I wouldn't say no, like friends that are girls, but like I would say if you're hanging out with them one-on-one,
yeah, it's weird.
That's weird. Yeah. If you're hanging out in a group and there's girls there, it's fine. Like
that's fine.
Yeah, I feel like if you have girls that are just like group type of girlfriends and like other guys are there and I'm not there, like I don't care, like that's fine. You can have your own friends, you can have your own friend groups. But if it comes down to it and you're like one-on-one, it's like what are they talking about? Like what are they doing?
But what about you? Are you allowed to have guy friends? If the guy asks, I don't want you to have any guy friends?
I wouldn't.
I respect that.
I feel like that's what relationships are, like talking about like what you guys boundaries, what you guys are okay with, what you're not. Like if you don't talk about it, it's just kind of like it's bound to cause issues or arguments. So I feel like if that was something that the guy preferred me not to have, then I would respect that.
Great question for you, but pay attention to what I say. Do you think guys can be friends with girls?
No.
Beautiful.
No, never.
We like you already.
Okay, and I have like me and my sister, even just being here, have proven that like time and time again. Like our double date that we went on, we ended up going on a second double date. And well, the first time it was kind of like they were like, you know, flirty and definitely showing interest. Right. And me and my sister were like, yeah. I feel like they're fun. Like we can hang out with them and be friends with them, but I feel like it wouldn't be anything more than that. So then we hung out with them again, and that time it was like friendly or whatever.
Oh.
And it was, they weren't really doing the same things they were on the first date. So we were like, okay, then yeah, like they can be friends with us. They're chill. Like this can be maybe a little friend group going on. And then the guy that was with my sister, he like texted and asked her to like go on like a date one-on-one, like just those two. And it was like, it wasn't even just like a hangout, like let's go to the beach. It was like, let's do like a picnic. Like it was like a date. And my sister was like honest with him. And she's like, you know, I just see you as a friend. Like I
Why
don't.
though? Well, what was the issue? I just want to know. We all want to know. Well, like, what? How do you girls determine the friend zone quick?
It's hard to describe when it's like a feeling. Like it's just like someone that you don't, I don't know, like your personalities don't mesh as well, or like you just can't connect with them on that level as you can maybe as like a friendship. So I don't know. It was just, she just didn't feel that. And so she's like just honest, like I see you as a friend and that's about it. But I'm like, I think it's fun, all four of us hanging out. Like I think that's fun. And then he was like, yeah, I understand. He was nice, whatever. We never hear from them ever again. I never hear from my date. We never hear from him. And because I was feeling the same way. I was like, I'm not interested. I didn't like, he never asked me that personally. Like he never asked like what I was looking for or like whatever. I think he just heard from his friend, because at one point in like our first date, my sister was like saying that I'm kind of like not really looking for anything right now. And he probably relayed the message. And then when she turned him down the second time, he probably relayed the message. So, but I never heard anything from him after that. And
do you think you and your sister are very similar personalities?
Yeah, I feel like
you guys both rejected the same guy then.
Yeah, we honestly like butt heads about it because we're so similar. Like we kind of
that's hard to do.
Sometimes don't get along on everything, but we also get along so well. It's like in the middle. But that's like a perfect example of guys can't be friends with girls, because if they show no interest like after a while and they're like, I just want to be friends, they're like, no thanks. Like do you agree with that? Are you the same way?
1000%. I feel like girls have the ability to be friends with guys, but guys have absolutely no capabilities of being friends with girls.
Not at all.
Because we always want one thing, and you know what it is.
Yep.
You guys would be like, no, I friend zone you.
Yeah.
We don't have shit like that.
It's just it's so frustrating, because like that could be a good friendship and that could be fun. It's like, think so. I know, but it's like, come on, like get over your hormones for like one second.
Because once that teenage shit hits, you're like, that's all we think about. We're very different. Okay, so what more red flags can you tell me that you see? I feel like you have specific ones that you're holding back. We want controversial as hell.
I'm just trying to think because I'm put on the spot. This is kind of like more in the physical area, but if when they're like physical with you, like sexually or whatever it is, I feel like if how they treat you after.
Oh yeah.
And also how they like go about it even during, like, does it seem like they're into you? Does it seem like they're into it? Like, are they like
into sex?
Yes, or just anything under that area, or just like after, are they like going on their phone? Are they playing video games? Are they ignoring you? Like, that's obviously telling you that that's all they really wanted. They don't even really care about how you felt after or like what it did for you. So I feel like that's really important in relationships to have.
You've had an experience like that?
Yes.
How does that make you feel about men? Because we have that dog personality.
Yeah, like not good. And I feel like there was times that I tried to just be like, that's fine. Like, or like, I'm sure it won't happen again. Or like, you know, I'm sure they didn't like mean it. Or like, I would just kind of like ignore it. And I feel like now that I'm out of a relationship, I'm like, well, I probably should have said something more, or like stood up for myself a little bit more and like said that was not okay. Like, are you not vocal in a relationship? Like, I am. I feel like I'm very good at expressing my feelings and like communicating. And I feel like I'm always the one that's kind of more so like willing to communicate, especially because guys already kind of don't communicate very well. So it's very rare when you find a guy that does. But anyways, I just feel like in general, I'm very, even in my friendships and like my family, and I feel like I said, I like to talk. So like, I don't mind talking about my feelings and like saying how I feel. And if you don't like it, then.
What's one thing you want to tell your ex that you never got a chance to? He probably won't ever see this podcast, so don't.
I know. Every time I say something, I'm like, oh, okay. Let me think.
Fuck you.
No, for real. I hope she's giving you everything that I couldn't.
Back it up. He's dating someone? That's been like nothing times. Whoa, back it up.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
now we know why he wasn't texting you fast. He was already talking to someone.
yeah, and
That's
I've built so much resentment.
God,
and
wait, how'd you even find out?
well, girls find out everything.
Yeah, it's true. You guys.
And social media, you can't hide anything. When he broke up with me over the phone, he never said anything about another girl, blah, blah, blah. And then a little while after, I found out that he had been hanging out with this girl, and she was like posting things like literally 4 days after we had broken up. So I was like, there's no way like this fast you're moving on, or you found this new girl. Like, she was already there and you just were too much of a pussy to tell me.
You see, that's the thing. This is what I was talking about on my podcast a lot. Some guy turns the next girl into a fuck girl, then you guys go on and continue the chain. You guys break the heart of the next guy because you're like, fuck men. And then the chain continues.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he destroyed you, and now in your head, you're engraved all men are garbage.
Well, I know, and
because technically that's some sneaky shit.
It's true, because like he was my first love. He was the one that showed me what love was. So it's like I'm left with that's what it is.
Yeah, he
like,
should have just let you go right from the start.
Yeah, I feel like
That's
he knew that he didn't want to be with me before he left, and he decided to keep me there because it was comfortable.
Yes, that's all.
And once he found someone that was like more secure for him while he was there, because she was right there and not miles away like me, then he broke it off with me. I know, without him even telling me, because I didn't get any closure. So without him even telling me that, I put those pieces together.
No wonder. I kind of get your vibe now. You're very closed off.
Yeah, I feel like now it will be hard to like trust another guy, and it's hard because I feel like I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I like feel like I gave like my love, all of my love into that relationship. So it's like, and now I'm gonna be cautious, and I'm not gonna want to do that, or it's gonna take me longer to feel like I can do that or give that to another person. So honestly, on me, but also
no, it's a learning experience.
Yeah, but that's definitely why I'm still like obviously hurt by it, because that's like a whole nother story, is for him to already be like moved on.
Right.
So, which is so confusing and hard to believe after everything that we went through, after everything he told me. Like, it's just crazy, because I was his first love too, and he had relationships before me, but he never like really loved any of those girls. So I was like the first person he ever like actually loved. So it just is crazy that he can just pick up and go to someone else that quickly after having like something like that with someone.
Mm-hmm. And what about you? You had previous relationships prior to him?
No.
Oh,
I mean, like
so
middle
innocent.
school, like middle school, like
like
the ones that didn't count. So
wow.
Yeah, he was my first serious relationship. Yeah. Wow. And I even like before him, I didn't even really go on dates. I feel like I was really shy, and like I didn't really know how to talk to guys, and that just wasn't like me. So it was just like, yeah, that was definitely my first real thing. So that definitely makes it harder too. But
okay, we'll jump on a happy note. Okay, we're going down the dark path.
Get a little bit more deep than I expected. But
For sure. Okay, how often do you get hit on? In Hawaii, it must be more, right?
I feel like the place I get most hit on is the gym.
Really?
Yeah, and I'd say like I don't feel like it's a lot of like people like coming up to me and like saying things, but I can just feel like people
Eyeballs.
looking at me a lot, and whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but I feel like that's the majority of what I get. I feel like, and I get like, you know, people coming up to me too, but I don't know.
And how often per week, let's say? We need numbers, yo.
I don't keep track.
What?
Are you saying like just
No, eyes don't count.
Okay, so actually
approaches.
coming up to me.
Yes, that's a full count, because the rest that's bitch shit.
Right.
That's bitch shit. Guys, anyone could do that. That doesn't count.
Right.
I could look at a girl like that. I did nothing. How many times is it cold approach per week?
It also depends on what I'm doing, like where I'm going, but like I guess on an average, maybe 3 or 4, 2 or 3. I don't know. I don't want to like do it too high because
goddamn.
it's definitely not that every week though, because if I'm like doing really nothing, then I won't really like.
Is it annoying to get hit on all the time, or do you enjoy it?
I guess it depends on how they approach it, like what they say or what they do, but most of the time it's fine. Like it's just kind of like a little confidence booster. For sure. It's not
What's
really
the worst you've had? Dude,
well,
don't stress it.
Me and my friends were in LA, And this guy straight up like followed us on his bike for like 10 minutes and he was yelling things at us and he was saying like, I bet you can't handle this like black dick and things like that. And we were like, oh my gosh, bye.
Crazy?
What?
He was crazy?
Yeah.
He was crazy. Okay.
He looked like he was definitely on something. And we were ignoring him this whole time. And he was like, you guys speak another language? Like, what language do you speak? Like, all this stuff. Just English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, and then like finally I said something and I was like, we're good, thank you. Like, and because my friends were like too scared. I feel like I'm usually the one that would be okay like to say something to people like that. Yeah. It is scary, but like I'm also like okay to say something if I need to, I will. And he just wasn't leaving us alone. So like after I said something, he kind of like backed off a little bit. But he straight up like followed us on his bike for at least 10 minutes and we were just like and just saying gross nasty things. So that was definitely one of the worst, but I mean that makes sense because we were in LA. We were also in a really sketchy area, so that's kind of on us, and we were just like walking
LA's
around.
Going downhill like crazy.
Yeah. Okay,
I feel like you're a good person to have this conversation with because I feel like you have a low one. Do you think body count matters in this generation?
That's a hard one.
Does it matter to you?
Yes.
Tell more.
I feel like not so much the number, but I guess more so like if they like what type of phase was it? Was it just like hooking up with girls just to hook up with girls, or like what type of, or was it because they had multiple relationships and multiple like talking stages and like things that you actually would call like serious or something that was like there, or was it just to do it? I feel like that kind of makes a difference. So not necessarily the number, but like why is that number so high? Like what were you doing?
That's actually a really good way to put it because no one's ever said that.
Oh, good.
But I feel like most hoe phases from girls is because of what happened to you. Guys played them.
Yeah.
And the girl was really interested in them and the guy fucked them over. So the girl majority of the time tries to get revenge by hooking up with a bunch of dudes.
Right.
The majority of hoe phases, that's what it is.
And I feel like that's the same with guys too. I feel like when they break up with someone, not so like a revenge, but they just need someone right after, like a rebound.
Yeah, okay. Valid point.
I feel like girls do it because they want to say like F you.
Yes.
But guys, like if they're gonna do that, it's because they're like, I need to stop thinking about, I don't know how to deal with my feelings, I don't know how to deal with my emotions. I need to stop thinking about this girl, so I'm gonna go F this.
Yeah, we're really not good with emotions or feelings.
Yeah. Tell me about it. So yeah, I feel like it's not necessarily the number, just more so of like why, like what were you doing that for? Like what was the reasoning?
What kind of guys do you like? Confident or emotional?
Both.
No such thing. You got a big one, girl.
Well, like I feel like you can be both.
I've never met one. I've never met a guy who cried, be like, Jake, I need help. And then 2 seconds later, I'm going to go to UFC and box.
Right. Well, I feel like if a guy is emotional, like he does have confidence in himself that he can show that with that person.
Isn't it a little too vulnerable and a little too feminine?
I like that.
What?
I feel like I feel like a lot of girls do, because guys like have a hard time showing their emotions. So when they do with the girl that they're with, I feel like that gives that girl like a sense, oh, like he's comfortable with me. He can show his emotions with me and he feels with me on like a deep level. Because if a guy is just kind of always holding it back, it's like, what are you really feeling?
Okay.
You know? And it's not like you have to cry all the time to me about like everything. Like you don't have to be as emotional as a girl. But like to show that you have emotions, girls love that.
Okay, so I'll tell you, there was a study done. It was an accidental study. Okay. So they came up to a bunch of girls. They had like a group. I'm going to show you the video.
Okay.
They had like 5 girls lined up and they had 5 guys. Now keep in mind, this guy, they were all attractive. The girls said like, oh, we want an emotional guy, right? Somebody, and the girls asked the question like, oh, when was the last time you cried? And one of the guys actually broke down and said, my friend died this year, and he started crying. Keep in mind, this is a very attractive guy. I'll show you a video of this. All the girls were told to rate the men after. The guy who was like one of the most attractive, they rated him the least because he was too vulnerable in the beginning because he cried. And they literally said, it's just he made us feel uncomfortable. Nothing against him. We thought he was super attractive. That vulnerability, it turned us off. And keep in mind, I saw the video. The guy was actually good looking, better looking than the other guy. And they chose
interesting.
They chose the nerdiest looking guy as one level higher than him because he cried in front of them. So there's this whole thing going on. Women don't actually want a vulnerable guy. You guys say that. But at the end of the day, you want a guy who shows you that he's a masculine man who could fuck somebody up if you needed to. If somebody comes to the door and knocks down the door and it's time to protect, if the guy starts crying in front of you, you're not going to be like, oh, he's so cute.
Well, that's different. I feel like that's different.
Okay, so let's elaborate.
I feel like
Talk. I'm gonna pull up the video. Just go ahead.
Okay. I feel like what you like as an example, if like someone's about to like F him up and he's crying, that's so different because that's like a different type of, he's just honestly a baby at that point. So that doesn't show his manliness side, but everyone has emotions. Everyone cries. So when a guy never cries, that's when it's like, do you even have emotions? Like, are you even feeling? Like, if they are crying to you, like, because they care so much about something or they care so much about you or like things like that, I feel like that's what girls like. Not necessarily in general, they cry all the time. I feel like that's different. Like, obviously you want a man, but also, okay, yeah.
Can't wait to see the authentic reaction. Woo.
Is this on like one of those like, TikTok,
This is
okay.
like a dating-ish show.
Okay.
So this guy's reacting on top video.
Ethan, like, should we go deep? When's the last time you cried? He's trying to cry now. No, my best friend is here, so it's a little bit hard thing for me. I'm so sorry. You made me think about it. I'm so sorry.
That's so sad.
It's very sad.
Can we give him a hug? Wait, is that allowed? Can we get group hug? Oh my gosh. Group hug? I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's hard. I'm drunk. That was my brother. Damn, whose question was it? I'm kidding. And then just like mildly uncomfortable, which is nothing against him.
So you're starting to not choose him.
I don't agree with that. Oh my gosh.
Put him last. Every girl.
And he is like good looking too. Honestly, out of all of them, he's the most good looking. I feel like
How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's a green flag.
Crying.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like especially you can tell he cared so much for his
his
best friend and
100%.
it honestly hit him like I feel like it's fine to like hide your emotions sometimes and like be strong.
Yeah.
But to be able to show that you can also feel that deeply for someone and care, that automatically like is going to show you that in a relationship, he's going to care so much for you and he's going to like feel deeply. And so I feel like if I was one of those girls, and I'm not even just saying this because like I want to be different. I don't want to like,
I believe what you're saying.
I feel like if I was
think
there and I was rating him, he would definitely, that wouldn't change it. Honestly, that would boost him up because he's attractive and he can show his emotions. Because also like when he was like doing that, some of the guys, I don't know if you noticed, they were kind of like laughing at him a little bit.
Why didn't see that?
Well, not like laughing, but they would like kind of put their head down and like smile. Like they kind of were just like, oh, this is awkward. Like
I would never react like that.
That's the type of guy.
Easy,
that's the type of guy that's like never showing his emotions, acting like he's a hard ass all the time. Like those are the guys that you should be putting last.
Yeah. So you don't like, you got over that kind of guy already.
Yeah. So I feel like even seeing that video doesn't change my mind. I feel like I would rather have that than someone that's just like, but when it comes down to it, of course, you also want them to be strong and be a man, like have both sides. So,
okay, I already know the answer to this question. Nice guys or bad boys?
Nice guys. 100%. 100%.
No toxicity?
No.
Not even a little bit.
No. At least like from my experience, I feel like I wouldn't like that. I mean, I can't say just because I haven't had all that experience. I've never had like, I get why people can be attracted to it. I don't think it's like, oh my gosh, they're so stupid for doing that. Like, I get it. But me personally, I feel like I could never, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever been rejected by a guy? The breakup doesn't count. Like actual rejected that you tried to pursue.
No.
Ever?
Not that I can think of, just because I usually am not the one to like go
after.
Yeah, go after the guy because it's just scary. And I know guys like when the girls make the first
Yeah, because we never get really attention.
Yeah. So I know that and I get that, but I don't think I have ever been rejected, no.
Okay. So let's say using social media, is that a red flag or a green flag for you for a guy?
Depends on how they use it.
So elaborate.
Do you just mean like in general they just have social media, or like what do you mean like by just, do you think like being on it all the time or constantly
using it, posting? That's what I mean.
Okay, posting, just like posting whatever.
My daily activities, my cup of coffee, my shirtless picture, just my daily stuff. Is that a red flag for you?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think that's a red flag? That's not attention-seeking behavior too?
I mean, if they were doing that before me,
it could still be a red flag though.
Yeah, I guess.
Just because you entered the picture doesn't mean all of a sudden you're like, oh, but you were doing that beforehand. It's okay. It goes back to the same question with you and
So why do you think it's a red flag?
attention-seeking behavior. I think if you're content with your partner, there's no need to look for outside validation. That
Right.
means he's not giving you enough gratification, not enough attention.
Right.
It means you need those artificial likes from those people who can't.
I guess it depends on what he's posting. If it's his cup of coffee, I don't really care if he's
That same,
posting
yeah.
that. Or if he's posting like where he's going or what he's doing. I guess it depends on, like if it's like his physical appearance that he's wanting things on, I get that. But if it's like just normal like fun stuff, like, then that's fine. But I guess being more specific with like if he wants attention for his looks, or if he's posting gym pictures all the time, or if he's that is a red flag. I just thought you meant like in general, if he's just like always posting like whatever.
No, we're like whatever. That's fine because I have like a bunch of social media stars that post. They have to. That's
Yeah.
I understand that. So what kind of boundaries do you have similar to what I just said? Like posting on social media. Me personally, like if a girl, I know it sounds a little harsh. My boundary is if you're gonna post like that, I'm not interested in dating.
Right.
You're not interested in my attention. You're interested in others' attention.
Yeah.
So what's your boundary?
What I prefer them like
Not to do.
Okay, yeah.
Sounds a little like dictator.
I think I don't think it should be something they're doing all the time. Like if they're constantly posting that, it's like why do you need that validation like when I'm like giving you that? But if it's like every once in a while, I feel like that's okay.
100%, that's fine.
Because I feel like I would want to do that. And I just put it in my shoes. Like I would maybe post something like that. More so not for other people, but for myself. And like girls don't, at least me, like I don't post that stuff to get attention. I do it like for myself. And I feel like in that moment I was confident. And maybe I just want to show like my confidence or something like that. So I think it's also like their intentions behind it. Like, are you posting it to get girls' likes, or are you posting it because you feel good about yourself?
Well, let me ask you this. You're single.
Yeah.
You're allowed to post it.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, I disagree with that.
Okay.
Because to me, I'm like, again, you might feel confident. Why don't you send it to your boyfriend? Again, I'm on your side. You're single. Do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you have to attract the male.
Yeah.
Right? So you're doing everything valid. But if I was in a relationship and I'm posting shirtless pictures of my abs,
that's
my
valid.
girl would question it. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, that's valid. I agree with that. And that's
I
also,
feel like we're on the same
I also think,
Libras.
that's something that I feel like you just need to talk about with your partner too. It's like communication. Like, what are they okay with? What are they not?
Yes.
Agreed. So if maybe you make the mistake and you do that, and then they come to you and say, I'm not okay with that. And if they choose to keep doing it, that's where it's like, okay. But if they listen and they're like, okay, I respect that, then I feel like that's,
Do you want a guy who works out? Is it important to you?
Not necessarily like works out, but they're active and fit. I just feel like if they're taking care of themselves, I feel like that's all I really care about. I don't care if you're going to the gym for hours every single day or like even consistently. I just feel like if you're doing stuff that keeps you active and like healthy, I feel like that's more than.
But what if somebody was out of shape and he was pursuing you? Do you feel like it's fair? Because you go to the gym and you're in shape.
Right.
You take care of yourself, I can tell. Do you think it's fair that a guy who's out of shape would be pursuing you?
It comes down to if he wants to have that motivation and like he's willing to like change and get to that part. Like I'm going to support him and be there for him. I'm not going to like reject him because he's not at that point yet. But if he's like willing to, get to a more healthier spot, then I feel like, like it's fine. If they're like, if they agree to maybe like,
You still haven't learned people in Hawaii. There's like a very big, there's so much skewed in terms of like scale. Girls allow the guys to do whatever. The girls will be like in tip top shape and the guy just doesn't do anything. I'm like, well, how is this normal? In every other state I've lived in, they're usually like in sync. The girl kind of looks in the same range as the guy. Hawaii is like, they're very big on personality. Huge.
Right. Which is a good thing. That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
I think also like.
It doesn't push men though. I don't like that.
Right.
It's like, oh, you have a good personality. Now you don't have to do anything. You just eat McDonald's. That's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think also like with the whole attraction thing, like some of that probably does go away if you love someone and you are like really interested in them. It's not gonna matter that much to you.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think initially, like going into something, I would want to like make sure they at least have goals.
I like that you said initially.
Yeah, I feel like they would have goals, and like from the start, if they just don't know what they're doing with their life, I feel like that's.
Yeah. Do you care about ambition in a man?
Yeah.
What are you going for anyway? Like, do you have like a career path goal?
Right now, I'm like such a hypocrite because I don't even know what I'm doing. But
you're in school though, right?
No,
You're
but
not?
I'm just taking gap year, but I do want to go to school. I don't plan on like never going to college because I do want to do that.
You're
I was
gonna go
just
to school here?
I haven't decided.
Stay here.
I kind of want to. Ever
gorgeous
since
here.
I've lived here, I'm like, wait, maybe I want to stay. But yeah, I definitely want to go to college. I don't know what I want to do as a career, but I've always been into like performing arts, like dance and stuff
look
like
at
that.
you.
I did dance in high school. I was on the team there, and
Did you ever
then
want to be an actor?
I would, yeah. I would be open
Give me,
to
like, a
it.
Disney Channel vibe.
Is that even a compliment, Disney Channel?
That means you're meant. What? Why you don't like Disney Channel? I mean,
I
it's going
do,
downhill. Yeah.
I do, but it's just like it's not the same anymore.
It's not sick.
Yeah, there's not as good shows on there.
Oh,
But
you know this. Look at you.
but yeah, I would see myself being an actor, but more so maybe like the other things, more like dance. I also like singing. And
What's your favorite band?
Band or just like an artist?
Both.
In my replay, I'll tell you what my replay was. I had Drake, Noah Kahan, The Weeknd.
I love the Weeknd.
I think it was on there. Sarah and the Sundays. Cigarettes After Sex is good.
That sounds like a sick band.
That's good. Those are just a few. But I like a lot of different types of music.
All right, we're approaching the end soon. So let me ask my favorite questions. How do you feel about Andrew Tate?
I don't really know a lot about him. I never really like fed into like really caring about what, I just know what I've already heard, that
What have
he
you heard?
just he's definitely not a feminist, and
I'm quite the opposite. He's definitely not a feminist.
and I just heard that he just doesn't like treat girls very well, or like the way that he responds to things. I've heard that people just don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't really have any like examples because I really haven't like.
You never seen any of his videos pop up?
I have not. No, maybe like a while ago, and I just kind of scrolled or didn't really care too much. But I've never actually sat down and like been like, oh my gosh, I hate this guy.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, I mean that's a
So-
some girls go spaz out when I ask.
Yeah, I don't have a
Fuck
lot.
him.
I don't have a lot to give about that one, but I do. I'm sure that everyone's right what they say. Like,
No, he's actually like a chill dude. Oh, so you do have an opinion.
not necessarily,
Holding
but
back, guys.
I just haven't heard anything good about him. So,
From the men you'll hear, from the women you'll hear only like misogynistic comments.
which yeah, I guess says something for sure.
He just talks a lot of shit. It is what it is.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure he's a fine guy once you get to know him.
So what have you learned about men at your age so far? Summarize it.
Wow, you could talk about this for hours. How am I supposed to summarize it in like 2 sentences?
In a few words.
What I've learned about them: don't give yourself away too easily.
2 men.
Yeah, and
I like
don't trust them all the time, and don't be so quick to trust a guy, I guess.
Wow.
And always just follow your heart, though. What your heart is telling you. I just feel like because of like what I just came out of, I feel like that's like my main thing is just like also know what you deserve, like know your standards.
Mhm.
If they're not giving you what you feel like you need and deserve in a relationship, then you shouldn't be staying in that anymore.
Good, I like that.
So I don't know.
You're big on intuition, I can tell.
Yeah,
You get the vibe right away.
I just feel like that's like a big thing, even just in like anything, like a
Right.
bad situation, like and you have to follow that intuition.
Right.
Because you obviously don't know what's going to happen, but if you get that feeling that your gut is like always right.
So they actually pin down what intuition is. It's actually a frequency. So you know how somebody carries like a negative energy around them? Energy and frequency are the same thing.
Yeah.
So what they found is women, it's not intuition. They can pick up on frequencies that are low.
Oh.
Okay. So it's not like, oh, women's intuition. It's like if a guy's giving a very low frequency and it's toxic, aka toxic, right?
Right.
A girl picks up on that fast because in the gray matter in our brain, women have more brain cells and they can pick it up. So that's why you guys latch onto the frequency. You're like, something's off about this.
Oh, that's
That's
interesting.
your intuition.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Men, we don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that shit. Like, yeah, he seems chill.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And that's why you guys are like friends with anybody you meet. You're just
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
this is a
yeah,
bro.
Yeah,
Like girls,
Yeah.
I feel like have to actually like get
Yeah.
to know the person and know if that's like a person they can vibe with.
yeah, we're pretty dumb. It's true. So, what would you like to know about men? And I'll spit it honest too, because I like to tell people the truth. What would you like to know about our deep, dark secrets?
I would like to know. Well, I guess I feel like I've heard this like answer many times. I just want to hear your perspective.
Go ahead.
So, why do men feel the need to jump to another girl right after they get out of something.
You're a security deposit. In case it doesn't work out with the potential, we stagger you. Like, hold up.
Right.
So what happens is we try to secure the bag of the next one, and then we hold you hostage. And the point is, it's like a species survival kind of thing. Where it's like we want to watch out for our own. What he did was fucked up. It's not a matter of question, right?
Yeah.
I noticed a lot of women do that too, though. You're a good girl. You have a good heart. He played you. I just hope you don't learn that characteristic and apply it in the future.
Right.
What he did was fucked up. I don't do shit like that.
Yeah.
I recommend people don't. But that's what he did to you.
Yeah, and I believe there's guys out there that
don't.
Yeah, that don't. I don't like when girls say all men, but it's definitely hard when your only perception is like a few guys and they all do like the same thing, or
you've had that experience with your friends?
No, just like in general. Like I feel like
I've never done that. When I break up, my ass is single for like 2 years.
That's good.
That's what I want people to do.
No, that's good. And that's what I feel like I'm trying to do too. Like I don't feel like it would be healthy for me to really like jump into something when I haven't even fully processed 100%. What I went through. And that's why it's so like, that this guy or whatever hasn't processed and that it's going to hit him later and he's going to realize.
I promise you, Karma will come back and bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
What he did to you, he'll get that shit tenfold. Promise.
I hope. Because I'm like, I'm happy. I want him to be happy and I wish him all the best. But at the same time, it's like, he's going to realize later on, sooner rather than later. But
don't stress. I'm telling you, you're gonna have more love in your life. You won't even remember him.
Yeah.
You're an attractive girl. I'm telling you, you have a lot of potential with a lot of guys. What he did, just let it go. And the worst thing, don't snoop. Don't be that. What is he up to? Just fucking let it go.
I actually am proud of myself. So like when I found out about this new girl, I was still like constantly looking at all this stuff and honestly hurting my own feelings.
Yeah, you're killing yourself.
And then I like got to a point, like I would just see something and just like, okay, I'm done. Like I'm done. And I cut it off and I haven't, ever since I did that, I haven't looked at anything of his or hers. So I feel like that's honestly it's been a big help for sure. Cause I can obviously assume what's going on, but just to see it is a whole nother story. Yep. So I feel like that's already like, it's helped me a lot for sure. Yep. So that's already something I've been doing. So
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
Last question?
Yes.
What's the weirdest thing you believe in? It could range from anything. Aliens, conspiracy theories. Just want to know.
I believe that there are things in the ocean that we don't think.
Ooh.
Like a megalodon. I feel like.
What's a megalodon? Well, I never even heard of it.
The Meg.
No.
You've never seen those movies or heard of anything?
I don't even know what that is. Was it like a mermaid or a mansion?
Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked.
What is it?
How do you not know what that is?
I never even heard of it.
Your assignment after I leave is to look it up. But it's like, it's a shark.
A shark?
Yes. It's a huge shark.
What? Of course that exists.
No, but listen. Apparently it's extinct.
Oh.
Like it was a shark that is literally, I don't even know how big, but if great white, like probably 10 times the great white. So like literally huge. And so he's apparently extinct, but I feel like there's a possibility that he's not. Same thing with mermaids.
Yeah.
Or other things like that. I feel like you can't say that things don't exist if only 5% or whatever, 7% of the ocean is discovered. Like, how would you know that? You're just guessing based on what you know. So I feel like, and same thing with space. I just feel like those two things, it's like, I definitely think there's things out there that exist that we cannot even comprehend. So I don't know why people think that people are so quick to be like, those things don't exist. I don't believe in that.
I can't stand people like that. I never interviewed one person who said that. Luckily, I find people who are like, thought processes like similar to me and you.
Yeah, that's good because I feel like those people are just, this could obviously be stretching it, but they're so close-minded and they don't think about like what something outside of their box or whatever. So I feel like that in itself kind of tell you a lot about a person.
What do you think the government is hiding from us? Do you think anything cryptic?
I don't really think about the government much, honestly. I'm not very political. I hate politics. Yeah. Even though it's a big part of, it's obviously important, but I just don't really spend my time doing that. But maybe they hide like that they know more about us than we think. Yeah. Like our phones and stuff. Oh yeah. Like I think they definitely are listening to us.
Yeah, the CIA disclosed, man. What is it called? Edward Snowden proved that they spy on us.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
what was he like proving? Like
He
what
worked for the CIA. He's like, bro, we spy on all of you.
Oh.
Edward Snowden, look into him.
Wow.
They made a documentary about him. He had to
Scary.
run away to Russia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because the government was like, your ass is gonna get killed right now.
I believe that though. I feel like if I were to say anything, I'd be that because I don't really
100%.
know anything else about the government, to be honest.
They're bad people. But okay, we conclude this podcast. Sadie Austin, people, you did great.
Thank you
Very good
everyone for
podcast.
listening.